You guys off base because I don't have my sweatsuit on. Don't think I'm dressed up for you guys. I have to go to the AFC convention right after this, and I think it's an honor for our program because I've been asked to speak at the AFC convention to the whole convention, which I think is a really neat deal. That's the college coaches convention down there, where I think there's upwards of 3,000 people. So, that's why for me, this is dressed up. Obviously. I think we sit here a year to the date today. Jeff and Greg Myford and I were just out there talking about this. I think it was January 7th when I was hired. So, obviously a lot can happen in a year. One of the main reasons why I wanted to come in here today and talk to you guys is because I think over this year, I can say that we've developed a very honest and open relationship with especially the local guys around here, the local men and women around here as far as the writers go and the TV people here. So, and I'd really like that to continue. And I think it's been refreshing for me to get to know you, and I think it's been refreshing for you guys to get to know what we're all about. And that was one of the things that we wanted to do when we came in here was open it up and let people come in and see the staff that we have here and the type of kids that we're coaching here. And obviously I'd like to continue that relationship, and I really think it's an important one. So I just want to tell everyone here, especially the local people, that it's been an enjoyable year. It's been a very enjoyable year. Obviously a lot has happened over the last week, and many of the things that happened over the last week are out of my control. But this is in my control. This day today is in my control, and I want to make sure that everybody leaves here with a sense of exactly where I stand and what exactly happened and how I feel about Penn State. When the season ended, we had a great victory over Wisconsin, and the season ended, we immediately went on the road as a staff and began to recruit. And then obviously you go into that, what they call a dead period, where you can't recruit anymore, and so I gave the staff vacation. I took my family, my wife Colleen and my son Michael, my in-laws came and stayed with my son Jack here in Boalsburg, and we took Michael to Disney World. Now, just so you know about that trip, I've been on more roller coasters in the last 4 days or 5 days than I've been on in my whole life. I mean, it was just back and forth roller coaster. But anyways, we had a fun time down there. While we were down there, obviously the NFL season ended, and I believe there were 7 openings at the end of the NFL season. Many of those organizations contacted my representative, Joe Linta, with interest in talking to me about being their head football coach. I don't want to get into which organizations and all those things. That's not why I'm here today. Why I'm here today is to tell you a few things. Number one is I'm a coach. I'm a coach. And the National Football League, and coaching is my profession. Coaching is something that I love. I love to coach. I love coaching these kids here at Penn State. I enjoy coming into the office every day and strategizing and thinking about how we can get this team ready for the 2013 season. I enjoy the week-to-week preparation. I enjoy the practice planning, the camaraderie with our staff. We have one of the best staffs in the country. We have a fantastic staff of guys, and I'm a coach. That's my profession. Your profession is, you guys are journalists. You guys are TV people. You men and women are at the top of your profession, whether it's here in Pennsylvania or in the country. But that's your profession. Respect my profession. My profession is coaching. And in my profession, the National Football League is the highest level of coaching. You don't get any higher in coaching than the National Football League. And so, out of respect for what we did this year, myself and our staff, and most importantly our players, and plus some of the things that I have done in the past, a few teams reached out to my representative and we had conversations. That's as far as it went. And at the end of the day, the most important thing is the decision that I made. I made the decision to be here at Penn State just like I made that decision a year ago, and I can't think of a better place to be. This is a top 10 football program. This is one of the best academic institutions in the country, in the world. And I am very, very proud to be the head football coach here. Very proud. And I have a family. I'm 43 years old. I've been doing this for 20 years. I'm basically, in my opinion, about halfway through my career. I won't be coaching for 47 more years. I won't. I will not be coaching when I'm 80 years old. I think I can coach about 20 to 25 more years because that's what's where I see my career going. And I have my wife Colleen and my son Jack and my son Michael, who I love more than anything in the world. And it's my job as the father and the husband in that house that I take care of my family first. And that's my job, that's my duty as a father and a husband, and that's what I did. And again, we couldn't be happier than being at Penn State. Could not be happier. In my 20 years of coaching, and you can go back and you can call Mickey Kwiatkowski, Mark Whipple, George O'Leary, Ralph Friedgen, Ted Roof, and Bill Belichick. You can call them all. Most of them probably won't call you back, but if you do get them on the phone, you can ask him, did Bill, in his years working for you, has he ever asked you for a raise? And they will unequivocally tell you no. I have never asked Dr. Joyner, Dr. Erickson for a raise. No one at Penn State has ever come to me and said to me that we're going to make a donation so you can get a raise. That's a bunch of malarkey. It's not true, it's never happened, and it never will happen. That's the last thing that I'm about. If I was about money, more than likely, I probably wouldn't be sitting here right now. It's not about money. It's about making sure that Penn State University, Penn State Athletic Department, Penn State football does everything we can do in our power to make this place the best it can be for our student athletes. That's what it's about, in my mind. So what does that mean? People have asked me over the past few days about structural changes and things like that. Number one is I believe in a chain of command. Dr. Erickson is the president of this university, and I have a ton of respect for him. Dr. Joyner is our athletic director, and I have a ton of respect for him. And I follow their lead. I look at it this way. Dr. Erickson's like the CEO. Dr. Joyner is the captain of the athletic department. And those guys are my bosses, my immediate boss being Dr. Joyner and Dr. Erickson being my ultimate boss. And I stand in line behind them, and I support them. I think about on a daily basis, part of my day is thinking about what those two men have meant to this university and what they've been through, what the decisions that they've had to make. So I stand behind them. And my horses in the race here at Penn State are my players and my coaching staff. And that's the number one thing as it relates to Penn State. And so I want to make sure that we do everything we can, whether it's in the weight room or our coaching meeting rooms or something, maybe we could add a few people in our recruiting department, or maybe we could help our academic staff, by adding some people, or maybe we can help our sports information staff, or whatever it has to do that relates to football at Penn State. I want to make sure that every year we do the best we can to be on the cutting edge of having the best football program that we can possibly have. That's my job. My job is, as the head football coach at Penn State, is to make sure that we field the best football team we possibly can, that we graduate our players, and that we continue to attract some of the top-notch character, academic, disciplined kids, student athletes that are out there. That's my job. I absolutely enjoy every single day coming to work here. I'll tell you my routine. I get up, I'm an early morning guy, a lot of you guys know that. I get up early, I go to the Dunkin' Donuts, I trade off. There's 2 Dunkin' Donuts here in State College. I go to one of them, I try to trade off so I don't make the other one mad. I get my coffee and I come into work and I watch tape, I meet with our staff, I talk to our kids, I do everything I can to make sure that I'm making sure that Penn State is in the most successful position it can be as it relates to the football program. So that's something that I wanted to make sure that everybody knew here. Again, going back to money and all these other things, I really find it, and I have a lot of respect for everyone in here, I really do. But you really don't know me if you write something or you say something that this guy did it for leverage and money. I didn't do anything. I had a conversation in the best interest of my family with a few people, and at the end of the day, this is the decision I made. We're all faced with choices. I chose Penn State because I love coaching these players. I really like our staff, and I like the direction that we're headed. I have never asked anyone for a raise, and no one's ever even brought up the fact that you get a raise. Hey, look, 6 months down the road, if I get a raise, would you like a raise? Everybody would like a raise every once in a while. Yeah, of course I'd like a raise. I'm just like everybody else. But I have never asked anybody for a raise. So to me, it really borderlines on, you guys know me, the guys that have been around me, a little bit of an Irish temper. Yeah, it gives me that, it gets my blood boiling a little bit when somebody tells somebody else or writes something that this was about money. It wasn't about anything other than making sure that I saw the opportunities out there and that I do the best job I can for my Penn State football players and my Penn State football staff. So with that being said, I will end on this. I just want to make sure that everybody knows too, there are many, many alums that I've come into contact here over the last year. Some of the highest character, most disciplined, some of the best people I've ever met. You know, one of the things that was really neat when the sanctions came out last summer is we invited our letterman to come speak to our team. And we have over 1,000 members of our letterman organization. And I sent out an invitation, I think, on a Wednesday for them to be here on a Monday. I only gave them about 4 or 5 days advance notice because we had to get going. The sanctions were coming and kids were making decisions. And I think almost 500 lettermen showed up to that. That's incredible. And many of those men I had met for the first time there. That's incredible. There's really not many programs around the country that are like that. And that's where I had met a lot of those guys, including Dr. Joyner and Paul Suey and a lot of those guys, and that's where I met a lot more. And in addition to them, I've gotten to know Terry Pagula and Ira Lubert and Peter Tombros and many people here. And not one time have I ever asked them for more money from me. Or have they ever said to me, hey, we're going to give you more money. It's never happened. Never will. It's never happened. Sure, would I like them to donate money to our football program so we can get a couple new treadmills and new squat rack or something maybe new in the training room? Sure. But again, these are some of the most outstanding people I've ever met, and I'm proud to know them, and I have a good relationship with them. And so again, I'm very, very thrilled to be the head football coach at Penn State. I'm really looking forward to watching the development of this team going forward. It's about, I don't know, it's a few months here before spring practice. Can't wait for spring practice. Over the next month and a half here, you won't really be able to get a hold of me because I'll be out recruiting. Really excited about the direction of recruiting. I think people have to understand the situation that we're in right now. I would tell you that recruiting's going very well. Obviously, I can't mention anybody's name because that's illegal, but I can tell you that you think about the situation that we're in, and you think about the type of guys that we're being able to recruit and that are receptive to us. It's really an outstanding job by our football staff. And our football staff is outstanding. And that's a group of men that I'm proud to be associated with, and that hopefully we can take care of them too, and make sure that we do right by our football staff. But those are just some things I wanted to say, and again, I didn't dress up for you guys. I have a couple other places to go after this. That's why I don't have my sweatsuit on today. So I guess with that, Jeff, we'll open it up to questions.
All right, we have 2 microphones. Please raise